Okay, hello YouTube. Thanks for watching. So it's the weekend. It's Sunday here in Japan, and I hope you're all having a great weekend. So I just wanted to shoot this video because I want to clear up some things. We're going to try and keep it as short as possible. But I'm going to start by saying, wow, there's some serious excitement going on, and for good reason. All right, this is something that's going to mark history in the network marketing space. Big things happening, and I know I want to talk about the fact that for whatever reason, there seems to be some backlash going on, and I don't even honestly know why there has to be even a conversation about this. People saying that is this is this a rip off of LiveGood? We're talking about SaveClub here. So SaveClub is my new opportunity. This is what I'm part of now. This is what I'm excited about. Have I jumped ship? Of course not. I love LiveGood. LiveGood is my main primary business. All right. Of course. I mean, guys, I don't look at it about the compensation plan, necessarily, not just about that. Yes, it's my bread and butter. It's a great income that I'm earning from it. But look at what we've got here as a company, what we're selling, what we're promoting, what we're doing here with LiveGood, and look at what we're doing with SaveClub. They're two totally different entities, okay? But I understand the connection. People are saying, look, it looks like a complete rip-off of LiveGood because they're using the same software. They're basically copying what LiveGood is doing. Okay, so let me just talk about a few things. Well, first of all, LiveGood is genius. LiveGood is incredible. And Ben Glinsky has said many times on the webinar, on the Zoom calls, on the Firestarter Friday, that he's actually surprised why there are not even more companies doing what LiveGood do. Okay. But actually, SaveClub is not really doing what LiveGood is doing. I mean, people are just getting kind of misinformed and thinking, well, they take one look at it and they think, well, that's another LiveGood ripoff, bullshit to that or whatever. But come on, guys. LiveGood did things right, all right? Hats off to LiveGood and hats off to Ben Glinsky. But guys, people know that obviously the software belongs to Ben Glinsky, okay? So Charles Mui, he's partnered with Ben Glinsky over the years, the decades. They've been fully on board with each other. They know each other. I mean, they're best of buddies. They're business partners. Right back in the day, when I remember My World Plus, okay, Charles Mui, he was the co-founder. I mean, he was all in that. He's the one who actually built that, really. Ben Glinsky was part of it, and Ben Glinsky, I mean, before that, or whether it was before or after, I can't remember, but Nona Kazan launched Stythorpe, and there were a lot of companies. And over the years, Ben, Nona, Charles Mui, they've been doing consultancy, they've been partnered up in a lot of things. So Charles, the CEO of SaveClub, I mean, he's partnered up with the best. At the end of the day, guys, I mean, if you've got some good business partners, good business people that you work with, you're going to partner up and you're going to continue to do so because, Ben Glinsky, he's good at what he does. I mean, he's put together some good things, and Ben Glinsky's all on board with SaveClub. It's not just about the fact that Charles Mui has has bought the software. Yes, that's one thing, but Ben's done this. He doesn't just sell the software. He partners up. He's a consultant. So it's understandable that there's going to be some similarities here because I mean, why wouldn't there be? And if you love LiveGood, you're going to think that of course some of these companies are going to want to do that, and they're going to do it ethically. Because with Ben Glinsky's permission, because that's the partnership that they have, and that's the partnership they've had for decades. I know about software, I know about development, I know about what companies do when they've partnered up. I mean, a lot of these companies, from Silicon Valley and over the years and the decades since the internet launched, there's a lot of connections going on which we don't know about, and Facebook and all the rest of them. They've partnered up. I mean, like take Elon Musk for example, who was the ex-CEO of PayPal, for example. I mean, there's connections and all over the place. I mean, this is what happens, and absolutely because you want those connections. So Ben Glinsky knows what's going on. He's fully on board with what's going on in the industry. He's done it for decades. Take Valentus, which is a big network marketing company. I don't even know if they're still going, but Ben Glinsky had a very strong involvement with Valentus, and obviously My Daily Choice, and obviously iCoin Pro, that's been going since 2017. The CEO Justin Clark, who I've met personally in Nashville, Tennessee. He's the CEO and founder of iCoin Pro, and that's another LiveGood software. So you can bash all these companies, but that would be stupid to do so, because they are absolutely top-notch companies. I'm not necessarily in these companies, obviously, but I have respect, because that's the big picture. Okay, that's why you see Ben Glinsky telling you on the Firestarter Friday calls, it's okay to seek out these platforms, to seek these companies, go and look at these companies, go and join these companies. He's into multiple streams of income, because he is also doing the very thing that some of these LiveGood leaders are telling you not to do. That's the conflict. All right, right there. Ben Glinsky's got no issue with people doing other things. Okay, especially something that Ben Glinsky is going to be, and absolutely, and it's funny, because some of those LiveGood leaders are saying, well, they're putting money into our pockets. Yes, that's right, and that's fantastic, and that's smart. And obviously Charles Mui, the CEO of SaveClub, he wants to support everybody in this venture. Why there has to be some kind of discussion even about this and bashing going on, that's just minimal. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Charles Mui, in the last several days, he's been in Las Vegas. He's been doing big deals with platforms completely unrelated to LiveGood. He's been doing big deals so that you guys can benefit from the very things that you haven't been able to benefit from within LiveGood. It's a platform that expands and helps a lot of LiveGood people, because LiveGood are not going in that direction. Okay, I mean, I'm not even expecting LiveGood to necessarily go in that direction. That's fine. I mean, you've got for example, I mean, take Got Backup, for example. I'm not going on a tangent here, but Got Backup do some really great things. And some people over the years, since Got Backup launched, they think that they copied what LiveGood are doing. Joel, CEO of Got Backup, he's done a lot of clever things, and they all know each other. They've got history together. But Joel said it, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to go on a tangent here, but Joel, the CEO of Got Backup, I mean, there's no connection here. I'm just saying that these companies like Dropbox, where you've got backup, and people need backup. He said it on the webinar. He said recently, and I loved it. He said, I want to be a part of a company. I want to be a part of a platform where, if you've got a service that people buy anyway, regardless of a compensation plan, regardless of they're going to be, getting paid from it, they buy it anyway, and there are billions of people buying that kind of product, then that's the product to go with. I used to be in cryptocurrency. I still am in a quiet way, obviously for obvious reasons, but it is technical. It's not something that I've stopped trying to kind of convince people about a crypto type business, because I don't want to go that direction. It's complicated. It's a challenge. It's technical. So I don't want to go in that direction. But with something like this, it's a no-brainer. Whether it's Got Backup, or whether it's SaveClub, or whether it's LiveGood, it's a no-brainer, because people want that kind of thing. When you've got LiveGood, for example, where it's health and wellness, but they could be branching into so many other things, because it's simply that membership model that people are familiar with, such as, you've got, Amazon Prime, and we talk about it all the time. I mean, this is one of our pitches. But it's true, it's what people are paying for, even when they don't even think about it, and they hardly, and sometimes in some cases, and I'm guilty of this. I mean, I have a subscription with Netflix, I have a subscription with Disney Plus, and I hardly use it enough. I've got a subscription with Amazon Prime, I've got a subscription with the YouTube, whatever you call it, the Plus, or whatever it is, and I don't. I don't use a lot of this stuff necessarily, but I keep it because I might need it, and I like it. The benefits are just what I need. but nobody's paying me. I mean, I've been using Dropbox for many years, and I've been paying for it actually. A lot of people just use it for free, but I've been paying for it because I needed it, to back stuff up. So now I go with got backup, and so that really helps. And then SaveClub is something completely different again. But guys, I travel. I travel the world. I live in Japan, but I'm based in Japan. But I want to travel back to the UK. I'm going to the UK next month. I'm going to be renting a car. I've got I was looking at Airbnbs for accommodation so that my daughter and myself can go in places. But now with SaveClub, I can look for accommodation. I can look for rentals. Car rentals and hotels. I can get flights. So it makes sense, but LiveGood are not offering that kind of service. So what am I going to do? I mean, I could go to Skyscanner, I could go and look for hotels, on Skyscanner or whatever, and not get paid for it. But instead, I'm using SaveClub, where I can actually save money. And I looked at Enterprise because Enterprise is the only car rental company in my small little area in the Cotswolds in the UK, where I can actually rent a car and go and pick it up. Other companies were too complicated. But I then realized that, wow, Enterprise car rental is actually on the SaveClub platform. Okay, so do you see what I mean, guys? I mean, that's not something that LiveGood are offering. So why even bash what we're doing here, guys? I'm just having benefits here, and I'm able to look at deals. I mean, it's just brand new. So, there's a lot of stuff coming on board with SaveClub, and they, as I say, Charles Mui, the CEO of SaveClub, is doing negotiations and big deals in Las Vegas, and he's been incredibly busy working for you guys, so that we're going to get a lot more deals coming to the platform, that we can get our discounts. Big brand names, but even small little ma and pa type companies as well, little restaurants and outlets and all kinds of other things that we can get deals on. So that we can benefit. That's what it's about, guys. It's not anything. We're not trying to disrupt, even though we're going to be disrupting, but it's not anything of an issue with, LiveGood, So guys, Ben Glinsky's on board. Okay. He's partnered up, I mean, of course he has. I'm not saying he has or he hasn't, but I mean, of course he has, because, not only has Charles bought the software, but that's what they do. They've been working together. They've been business partners for decades. I know the history. I know the background. A lot of you do. It's common knowledge. So don't think of this as disruption. It's just smart business. Okay, Charles understands he needs to go with the best. He needs to use the best software. So yes, there's similarities, and that's okay. So don't make that small little thing as being your connection to think that that's a chance for you to bash it. Okay, and yes, SaveClub is double the price, but it's still affordable. But why would you even compare that? Because it's a different product. It's a different service. It's uncomparable. What we're doing with LiveGood is incredible, but what we're doing over here with SaveClub is also incredible. They have there's room for them both. So I don't honestly get why there has to be this kind of issue where it's not even their business. Guys, if your upline is telling you not to do something, they don't have they don't have a heart for you to go and seek other things. We're adults. We're our own boss. We're our own entrepreneur. If they honestly had a real keen interest and genuine interest for you to succeed, why should there even be a discussion about this? All right. I mean, I understand that some people feel let down because they've helped you, they've put in a lot of work and effort and so on. I mean, guys, I put out a lot of software, a lot of funnels and this and that. And I don't mind if you're no longer in my LiveGood downline, and I don't mind if you decided to quit. And in fact, a lot of people who use my software have never really been in my downline, and they still use my software and they get it for free. And they, some people come and ask me for permission, and I say yes. And some people don't ask me for permission, and they just take, and that's okay. I don't mind, because I've been in this industry long enough. It's all about the connections. I mean, I'm not doing it because I think that someday down the road you might join me in something necessarily. Who knows, I might join you. That's the point, guys. I mean, I don't always expect people. Some leaders, they think always an upline, once an upline, always an upline. But I don't believe that. I've joined a lot of people who was once in my downline, and I get an offer from them, and if it aligns with what I'm doing, if I like what I see, I'm not going to jump into everything, but if I like what I see, I might join it. And I've joined a lot of stuff under people who were once in my downline, and they've offered me something good, and so I decided to join them. Then they became my upline. It's been like that. That's the relationship that I've had with a lot of people, and I love that. I don't see that hierarchy thing. It's not. We left that in the job space. I moved away from that. I don't work for someone anymore. I don't have a boss anymore. So I don't see you guys as my upline or downline, or I don't see, so and so is my leader or this or that. I might, who knows? I might join you. You might join me, but it's the relationship that we keep. But some of these leaders are just, they're just digging their own grave. They're digging their own holes deeper and deeper, and they expect you, regardless of what happens down the road, they expect you to remain with them and never leave. But guys, you fail to understand that I have a lot of mutual friends with a lot of these people. Okay, I've known a lot of these people probably longer than those leaders have known them. And then these leaders bash me because they think that those leaders have come over to me. No, I've known a lot of those people. We have mutual friends on Facebook. I've known a lot of people for a long time. I've brought people into this industry, and and they've moved to other leaders. The very people who are bashing us, thinking that we're taking them away. We're not. They don't even realize what's going on. People can just do what they want to do. If my downline wants to join some other business and they do, great. I wish them well. Absolutely. It's been a long journey in this industry, and I know that we're going to continue to work together in some way, shape, or form. And I look forward to that. Who knows what's going to happen. And I love it. But, guys, in the meantime, here's one thing I just always tell people. I say, just keep building your list. Keep building your following. Don't bash people. Don't burn bridges, because you never know. Okay, somebody might join you. A big leader or someone will join you down the road because they like what you do. You're kind, you're supportive, you're generous. You build with value, and that's the relationship you want to build with people, because people remember. Okay, and I would have joined. I would have looked at things and I would have joined people, but I choose who I join, and it's not just because they are a big leader or whatever. I don't look at it like that. So don't bash or burn bridges with people. It's not worth it. Really isn't. Okay, so we've got something great here with SaveClub. I'm excited about it. We've got a fabulous opportunity with LiveGood, and they work together beautifully. And I'm not making that as a connection, because they're totally different entities. And people have told me, don't even put LiveGood into your pitch. Okay, well, I am part of LiveGood. When I talk about multiple streams of income, it has to marry up somehow. Of course I do talk about it. And LiveGood is in my marketing system. SaveClub is also in my marketing system, among other things. It's within our ecosystem. Okay. I do talk about it because LiveGood is my primary business, so it is it's what I do. It's what I'm a part of, and there is a connection there. But I don't make it that connection, and it's not like that they are the same product. Okay, it's not that's not what I'm talking about. The point is, guys, LiveGood and SaveClub have a purpose to play. And it's about helping the network marketing space, but beyond that, it's about getting something out there, so that's in demand, or something that people want, people crave about, because they're using it on a daily basis, and that's what SaveClub is here to offer, and they're doing a good job. LiveGood has continued to do a good job, but I've lost a lot of team from LiveGood simply because of the shipping issue. That was difficult, and I've lost a lot of people because we're a global team. you know, and it has been a struggle. You know, I'm not bashing it, but it has been a struggle with trying to keep people on board and focused. You know, thinking about the fact that the shipping is not it's just a logistical thing that's you know, that's hard to kind of solve, unfortunately. You know, when we working with European countries or working with countries in Asia and stuff like that, it's, you know, it cranks up the price of the product itself. But with SaveClub, you don't have that issue. Okay, and I'm not doing it to compare. I'm just saying that you've got something here that marries up nicely. You know, it helps people. You know, it doesn't hurt people. All right, so I've rambled on enough, and I apologize for the long video. I said I would try and keep it as short as possible. So anyway, you know, if you've listened to this far, I appreciate you. But if you need any more questions answered, get with me. I'm happy to help out. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.